This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital.
Welcome back to Strictly Business. I'm Nathan Ollie, Manager of Government Affairs at the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. The mission is to help cancer patients have more birthdays. That's for the Relay for Life, and the American Cancer Society is helping to do that through its many fundraisers, and we just held the Relay for Life recently, a couple weeks ago. And to explain a little more how it did and how the event impacts the local community is Marcella Ives. Marcella is Senior Market Manager of Community Engagement for the American Cancer Society. Thanks for being here. On your day off, Marcella, we appreciate you taking the time to come and talk with us.
Well, you know, cancer doesn't take a day
That's
off.
right. That's right.
So when you called and you said you need to come in, then I'm all for it.
Well, we're glad to have you. So for those that may not know, what is the Relay for Life?
So Relay for Life started about 30 years ago with a doctor up in Washington State. And basically he was looking for a fundraiser where he could help bring awareness to the struggle with cancer and help raise funds.
Okay.
So the Relay for Life is a 24-hour overnight activity that is representative of the struggle that cancer patients go through, kind of the cycle. And because it is takes such a toll on not only the patient but the family and people around them, we looked at it as you know, this is a relay. You don't have to be in it alone, but you know, you're going to go through 24 hours kind of represents the cycle. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you go through a few hours, you go through a season. And when you're finished, you're tired, but you've come through it and you feel really good. And it's grown into this huge, huge community event where people just love to be there and be a part of it. And it's the biggest fundraiser that we do with the American Cancer Society.
And you mentioned 30 years for the Relay for Life. How much of that time has Bakersfield been the host to a relay?
The Bakersfield Relay has hosted 24 Relay for Life events in Bakersfield.
Wow. And it was just the first weekend in May, correct?
Absolutely.
At the fairgrounds.
Absolutely.
And over that time, do you have a number on how much the relays here in Bakersfield have raised?
Now, I'm pretty sure it is about $14 million.
Wow.
So, but now I could be a little off on that because I was out of town this weekend with my son graduating from law school. So
okay.
You know, I didn't get a chance to get that exact number, but I'm pretty sure that's close to the number.
Now that's one of the largest local relays in the world.
Well,
is that correct?
It is. It's one of the largest relays in the world. So
Wow.
There's only one other that's comparable to ours, and that's in Georgia. And but we are very excited that we're right there.
So what do you think contributes to that? It is one of those things that you hear everybody all over town. Oh, I went to the relay. I was walking for the relay. I walked for 3 or 4 different teams in the Relay for Life. What contributes to that?
Well,
atmosphere?
We just have a phenomenal community. This is I grew up in Dallas, and I came out on the 5-year plan, was going to move back, and that was about 23 years ago.
I hear that a lot, yeah.
And this is the most giving community I've ever been a part of. The people just have bottomless hearts. Mm-hmm. They just want to be a part of it. And Relay, is also a celebration of survivors. We had over 1,200 survivors there that we celebrated. Wow. Every birthday that they have, we want to celebrate. So, that's a big part of it too. So Relay's kind of become a big family. So when you think of 24 years in a community and people coming together for a common cause, you can't help but form a family. So it's just been incredible. And, going back to the fairgrounds this year, the comments that I heard were, wow, this is the best ever. It feels like when we were at Cal State. This is just going to get even better.
Right. And I understand that, there's a lot more food vendors out there, a little more room to spread out there at the fairgrounds. So
absolutely.
It worked out well, is what I understand.
Well, and I would say, the biggest comment was parking.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the locations that they've had in the past aren't really set up for, to host 5 to 10, 15,000
Sure,
people. So
sure.
parking has always been a challenge in getting people into the event. This year, that was not the case. Survivors had a designated place where they could park. They were greeted by friendly smiles with people in carts to bring them to the site and to drive them back to their cars when they were ready to go home. So it was just a much more logistically friendly
Right.
event.
Well, and I think you mentioned the survivors. I think that to me has always been one of the most special moments of a relay is to see the survivors out there walking and doing their part. I think we all know someone that if it's not ourselves, we all have a family member or a loved one that's been affected by cancer. So it is very special to see everybody out there kind of raising money for a good cause. And
Absolutely.
that large number of survivors is just a great testament to the amount of work that's been done. Now, of the money raised, how much of it stays in Kern County?
Well, it's hard to put a dollar amount on saving lives.
That's right.
But what we can tell you is that it comes back in the forms of research, products, services that are provided to the community. So when you look at 1,200 survivors in our community, those are all people who've benefited from medicines and treatments that have been over the years come to us through the American Cancer Society as a direct result. In fact, we've had 47 researchers who were funded by the American Cancer Society go on to win Nobel Peace Prizes for their research. The American Cancer Society has put in almost $4 billion into cancer research, and that's just the small part. The bigger part of that comes from the government and our advocacy in making sure that the government allocates funds for research, because we couldn't do it alone.
Right.
There's no way. And even saying that, the American Cancer Society doing it alone, we're not alone. The American Cancer Society is a community-based organization. So as an organization, it can do nothing without all of the people who support it. I want to say close to $60 million was invested in research in California. Other services that happened here in Bakersfield, Kern County, all around us. We have a program that is called Look Good, Feel Better.
Okay.
And basically we work with women who are going through chemotherapy and providing free makeup and tips on how to make yourself beautiful when you've lost hair. We also provide free wigs. We have a Road to Recovery program where we're providing rides to patients to their treatments. We also have a housing program where we can actually work with hotels to provide free lodging for people who are traveling.
Oh, okay.
And it used to be that you have to travel at least 40 miles. That's not the case anymore. So if you're traveling and you need to stay somewhere while you're getting treated, there is a program for that we partner with hotels to provide.
Outstanding.
So lots and lots of things that we do, definitely.
So what other types of events do we have coming up locally?
So even though we have the Bakersfield Relay for Life, and it is the biggest, we also have 5 additional relays in outlying communities. We have Delano, Wasco. We just had Taft this last weekend. We have 2 more this summer. We have the Mountain Communities, which is up in Fraser Park. And then we also, and I'm pretty sure that one's this month. And then in July, we have one up in Tehachapi.
Oh, okay.
So that's the summer. And then coming into the fall, in October, we have our Valley of Hope Gala event, which was a huge success. Over 450 people attended last year, raising, over $276,000. So it was pretty awesome. And our Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk, which will happen the end of October as well.
Okay, great. So we've been fortunate enough to get to know you through some of our various chamber committees. So we at the chamber know the work that the American Cancer Society is doing. But how is your organization working with the business community to sort of get that?
Well, there's lots of ways that we partner with the business communities. One, we support the local hospitals and serve on their committees in order to get their cancer certification as a recognized cancer hospital or facility. We also provide in-service training in cancer-related issues for those hospitals. In addition to that, we offer a service where we can go in and do an analysis and partner with businesses and offer them healthy training programs for their employees. We provide newsletters that they can incorporate into any communication strategy that they have with their employees. We also partner with local businesses for team building opportunities. So, to give you an example, Era Energy and also Chevron are two of the largest Relay for Life teams. So it gives their employees a way to partner together for a common cause, builds camaraderie within their organization, and of course, supports the fight against cancer.
That's right, and it really is. Those relay events are so fun. As you not only is it the team building that you have with your business team or your community organization, but you'll go and you'll sign up to walk for 2 hours and you end up walking for 4 because you see other people that you know. It's just a great opportunity to network and socialize, all for a great cause. So looking forward to it. And it's the first weekend of May every year. So coming up, already starting planning for next year's event, I'm sure.
Oh, yes,
so.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Marcella Ives with the American Cancer Society, thank you so much. And we wish continued success for the fight against cancer in the future. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Strictly Business and the closing bell. Stay tuned.
Ask